Well, the Cowboys have gone from 100 degrees to 70 and beautiful. And no, Ezekiel Elliott was not on the plane to California this afternoon. Our Chase Shannon made his flight. He accepted the assignment. He's not holding out on us. He's at the River Ridge practice fields in Oxnard, California, and joins us live. Chase?
Yeah, Don, one thing is certain. We're here before Zeke and the rest of the Cowboys, for that matter. The team plane left DFW about 1 o'clock Lone Star State time. They've landed in Los Angeles, and now they're making about the hour trek up here to Oxnard. Meantime, the practice fields looking sharp as training camp gets set to start here this weekend on Saturday. In fact, tomorrow, we're reading the annual State of the Cowboys address, where owner Jerry Jones and head coach Jason Garrett will likely fill us in a little bit more on what's going on with Zeke. But right now, no real reason to panic. Players are not required to travel to camp with the team. Zeke just has to be here for physicals in the morning, or he will be officially absent. And if he does hold out, he could be fined up to $40,000 a day. The two-time NFL rushing champion likely hoping for a long-term lucrative deal to put him in the ballpark with other star rushers like the one just up the street, Todd Gurley. So we're still out here waiting for the team to arrive to the team hotel. It should be in about 45 minutes or so. We're trying to speak with a couple of players as we get set for training camp here in Oxnard. With or without Zeke, training camp is here, which means football is right around the corner. Live in Oxnard, Chase Shannon, News 4 San Antonio.
Hey, they are not using the word holdout, not just yet. Late was the word of the day. But the bottom line is that Ezekiel Elliott is not in Oxnard with the Cowboys. But will his deal get done in an hour? Hours, days, weeks, or will it extend into the season? Nobody knows for sure, but the Cowboys didn't seem overly concerned here on day one of training camp. Our Chase Shannon was right there for the State of the Cowboys press conference, and he's live with all things Zeke. Chase?
Yeah, this year's State of the Cowboys news conference lasted about 40 minutes, and I'll tell you, 75% of the thing was questions about Zeke. Are they concerned? No. Are they disappointed? No, but they did expect Ezekiel Elliott to be here in Oxnard, California. So when will we see Zeke? Will we see Zeke here in California? We don't know yet. The two-time rushing champion wants a new contract, and a lucrative one at that. They're going to have to carry on without him, though. Owner Jerry Jones says this is always a great time for other guys to step up when someone's absent. And maybe it'll be one of the rookies like Tony Pollard or Mike Weber Jr. Either way, Jones says Zeke's absence does not affect his coaching staff's plans.
But these guys don't have a breakdown and go in some kind of mental asylum when the guy that they thought was going to be there is not there. They're not built like that. And so they do go on, and they mean it. And they really do mean it, and that's the way they get up and go to bed.
So we always view this as an opportunity. You know, when someone's not there, step up, next man up, let's see what you got. And it's a great opportunity for us as coaches to evaluate that player, see if he can hold up, see if we need to go get somebody else. It's a great opportunity for the player to prove himself.
Jones was vague when asked if they will fine Ezekiel Elliott. He could be docked up to $40,000 per day. Oh, hey, by the way, training camp starts tomorrow. The opening ceremonies at 4:30 San Antonio time. This is the view of what the fans will see when the Cowboys take the field tomorrow evening. In Oxnard, Chase Shannon, News 4 San Antonio.
His flight, he's no holdout. He's live in Ventura, California with more. Chase?
I'm not holding out, Don. I promise you that. This is that time of year when fans of all 32 NFL teams think their club can win the Super Bowl. Dallas Cowboy fans, I know you're no exception to that, but you do have a lot to look forward to this September. But as we're just 2 days out from training camp kicking off, it's more about who's not here than who is here. So much anticipation for training camp to get started here in Oxnard, California.
Excited for this year, year 4 for me. It's a wonderful opportunity being out here in Oxnard every year, so it's really just a blessing.
The defending NFC East champs reloading, thinking they're in store for huge things this fall.
Expectations is, relentless effort. We're driven to be great, and it starts tomorrow.
It does start tomorrow, but will it be with star running back Ezekiel Elliott?
It's going to be a beautiful. It's going going to be a beautiful day. Yeah, he's a guy that I love and trust. So.
Elliott notably missing the team plane today, despite head coach Jason Garrett saying he anticipated him to be here. Linebacker Jalen Smith, a master of deflection today, taking question after question about the two-time rushing champion.
I mean, I know I'm here. That's the beautiful thing. We're a team. We're going to be together. And I love the hell out of Zeke.
If Elliott does show for his physical in the morning, he won't be officially absent. If he doesn't, he could be charged up to $40,000 per day he misses. Whether he's here or not, his teammates say it won't be a distraction.
Not at all. I don't think anybody's concerned about it. I think there's just a buzz about the team. The guys are excited to be out here and get started again. I think guys generally feel we have a really solid roster, and we're excited about the people that we have. We're excited about the coaches that we have, and we just want to get all those pieces moving in the right direction and moving together. And as much as you can do during minicamp and OTAs, there's nothing like putting the pads on and seeing where things are actually going to turn out.
Hey, it's great to see Travis Frederick back, isn't it? As far as the team goes, it doesn't seem like they're too optimistic that Zeke will be here tomorrow, but Jalen did tell us that he wanted to run inside just to check to see if Zeke was here. We still haven't heard back from Jalen, though. Live in Ventura, just north of Oxnard, Chase Shannon, News 4 San Antonio.
Yeah, beautiful. Nobody knows drama like America's team, and they've got it yet again. Ezekiel Elliott has not reported to Cowboys training camp. Jerry Jones gave the annual State of the Cowboys address today, and as you would expect, Zeke was the hot topic. Our Chase Shannon was there for Jerry's spin on things, and he joins us live from Oxnard. Chase?
Hey, Don, Jerry Jones said the word excited 5 times in his opening statement. Believe me, I counted. What else would you expect from the State of the Cowboys address? He's particularly excited about all 80 players being under contract heading into this fall, or into camp, that is. And that, of course, includes Ezekiel Elliott, who, as you mentioned, a no-show here in Oxnard. Stephen Jones does say that they have discussed a new deal with the 2-time NFL rushing champ, but he wouldn't go any farther. Jerry expects every player that is under contract to be here, but again says these things are just part of the game.
You say, well, does it occur to you that you might not have a player if they're a holdout in camp? Yes, I understand our game. It occurs to me we may not have a player over an injury. As a matter of fact, we prepare for that, and we know you could not have a player over a suspension. We know that. We prepare for that. And so all of this is just a part of playing football professionally in the NFL.
The word disappointed wasn't tossed around at the State of the Cowboys address, but head coach Jason Garrett said he does expect every player to be here. We're going to hear more from Garrett on the impact this has on the coaching staff with Zeke missing, as well as what opportunity it could provide for some of the other running backs on the roster. Live in Oxnard, Chase Shannon, News 4 San Antonio.
All right.
What did you say? I really didn't hear you.
What do you need to see from Jason to bring him back in 2020 as your head coach?
I really didn't hear you. I got a damn drill going on back over there. Next question.
That is Jerry Jones on Jason Garrett heading into the last year of his contract in today's State of the Team address as we're camping with the Cowboys. That not even close to the biggest topic out here in Southern California. Ezekiel Elliott, a no-show. So what does this mean for the team as we are officially at training camp eve? Well, they can fine him up to $40,000 a day, in fact. But Jones was vague when asked if they would. Zeke, of course, seeking a long-term deal with 2 years left on his current deal. They're saying it's business as usual, though, while he's not here, and it could be a great opportunity for some of the other running backs, like rookies Tony Pollard and Mike Weber Jr., to step up.
Zeke is an outstanding player. I don't want to seem cavalier about it, but I also don't want to be unrealistic being alarmed about it. This is what we do. This is the air we breathe. And if you flared and knee-jerked or went just because you have parts of it that need addressing, you wouldn't be a good manager and you wouldn't be functioning.
Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper are here, despite the two likely hoping for big new contracts. Stephen Jones says he thinks they'll get something done with Cooper as he enters his first full season with the boys. As for Dak, you look at the deal Carson Wentz got in Philly, and Jones says that could play a role in their negotiations.
I think all these things impact each other. There's no question. I mean, they were drafted in the same class, the same age. They've had success, both of them. And, certainly when deals get done at those levels, then, they affect one another. So it's just part of our business.
As we mentioned earlier, head coach Jason Garrett in the final year of his contract is the boys' lead man. Will they bring him back? Jerry obviously joking around a little bit earlier in that bite you heard, but he did give him a vote of confidence later without knowing what Garrett will need to achieve this season to return as the head coach.
There's no secret that the guy to my right here, I want to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys for as long as I'm around to spell it. That would be my goal. And that's no secret, and many of you have written about it in various ways. So let's see what's ahead.
Yes, we will. Tomorrow, the Cowboys will take the field, opening up training camp for the 14th time here in Oxnard. The opening ceremonies at 4:30 San Antonio time. Still ahead, we head over to Houston to check in with the Texans. They've got some contract issues themselves. We'll be right back. The Cowboys aren't the only Texas team with contract drama as training camp is set to open. Most of the star players like J.J. Watt and Deshaun Watson are at camp, but one person notably missing there. That's defensive end Jadeveon Clowney. He's refused to sign his franchise tag and hopes to get an extension. That didn't happen, and now it's a waiting game to see if Clowney will return during camp.
I can tell you unequivocally that we want Jadeveon Clowney here. He's part of this team. We want him here. There's always a difference when you're talking about money relative to wanting him on the team. That's something that the agent and our organization are working on. The sooner the better. Love to have him here.
There were rumors of a Clowney trade to the Bills, but according to ESPN, that is now unlikely. Back here in California, the Cowboys getting ready to take the field here for training camp tomorrow morning. We'll get our first look at the boys. Should be an exciting time out here. Their 14th time out here in Oxnard, California.
And I know it's your first time. I know it's early. They haven't even started camp, but I'm going to be unfair and get you on the record. How good do you think the Cowboys are going to be this year? Will they make the playoffs?
I absolutely believe so. Even with or despite all this stuff going on with Ezekiel Elliott, this team is loaded. They bring back a lot of young talent. Getting that deal done with Tank Lawrence, a big deal as they look forward to this season. I definitely expect them to not only contend in the NFC, but have a real shot at winning it and playing in the Super Bowl this year. I'm not going that far to say they will. I'm just saying they have the potential to do so, Randy.
And are you in shape for these 4-a-days or 5-a-days you're going to do for the news?
Yeah, my goodness. We had our conditioning test today. I hope it works out for us.
All right, we'll get to bed. We'll see you again tomorrow. We'll be right back.
Shannon is there in Oxnard with the Cowboys right now. Chase, it sounds like this team is very optimistic for the season. One reason why is the return of a familiar face.
Yeah, we are underway here at Cowboys Camp. The opening ceremonies just wrapping up. The team right now taking the field for their first practice. Earlier today, we got to catch up with the team after their first walkthrough, including their future Hall of Fame tight end. Plenty of new guys out here at Cowboys Camp, including a 37-year-old. All right, not technically very new, but it's great seeing 82 catch passes from Dak once again.
It's fantastic. Whit loves ball. He loves football to the core of his person, and he's demonstrated that to all of us through the years, and you still see that. He's prepared, he's ready to go, he looks great, and he's moving around well, and just can't wait to see him back in action.
Jason Witten, now a year removed from football, back on the field and working with the offense. Yesterday we heard Jerry Jones give an awkward no answer when asked about what head coach Jason Garrett has to do to keep his job. Witten says he has full confidence in his head coach.
Just look at the team last year, 3-5. They don't blink and come back and win a division, and that's a sign of a good coach. When his players play hard for him, regardless of those moments, and he's a hell of a football coach.
Hard to find a guy that spent more time with Garrett. Witten there for every season. Garrett's been a coach with the Cowboys except for last, so who better to ask about his coach's future beyond this year?
He thrives in those moments. He doesn't get comfortable being uncomfortable. He really does, and I think that's something he has a lot of confidence in. He's a humble guy in a lot of ways, and what he says, he doesn't say a whole lot, But internally, when he's with us, you can feel that confidence. You can feel the kind of swag that he brings to his football team and the way he coaches. And you know, look, he understands. He's been around this game a long time, he and his family. So I don't think that, you know, where a contract situation is going to affect him. You're going to get his best, and I believe in him certainly.
Hey, a new mantra for the Cowboys this season, fight. That word's still the foundation, but head coach Jason Garrett using the word driven for their 2019 campaign because the most successful people in the world have that kind of drive. Hey, right now the team is taking the practice field for the first time out here in Oxnard. Of course, we had a walkthrough earlier this morning, but now it's time for their first full practice. Much more from out here in Oxnard on News 4 at 10, but for now, reporting live, Chase Shannon, News 4 San Antonio.
Well, speaking of fighting driven, Chase Shannon is at Cowboys Camp, and he joins us now with more. And Chase, how weird was it today out there at Cowboys Camp and not seeing the focal point of the offense, Zeke Elliott, not out there?
Well, of course it's bizarre when you don't have the two-time NFL rushing champion out here. Just what he can provide to the team as one of the faces of the franchise. But what we heard at yesterday's State of the Cowboys address is that it would be business as usual out here, and it really did feel that way this morning and this afternoon. Yes, there is no Zeke, but there is still Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper, and others. Remember, DeMarcus Lawrence has had his contract issues himself before finally landing his lucrative deal earlier this offseason. He was asked if he had any advice for Zeke as he goes through this.
The advice for Zeke as he go through this process?
I got something for you.
What's that?
Let Zeke handle his business and don't ask me about another man's business.
Yeah, the Cowboys had a walkthrough this morning, and in Zeke's absence, we saw Darius Jackson get most of the load with the first team and repetitions in that. We also had a chance to check out the team after the opening ceremonies at their first practice. And for the first time this camp, the boys taking the field, of course, again at that walkthrough this morning, and we got to speak with Dak Prescott for the first time in California as well. He was introduced, by the way, by the Oxnard mayor as Dak Preston. Dak himself is due for a big payday. He was asked about his negotiations, and his answer about the same as his management's.
Yeah, same way. I'm not here to talk about my contracts, that stuff. I mean, talks I'm sure at this point will continuously happen, but for me it's about to come out here and focus on this, not be distracted by any of that stuff, any of that conversation, and just focus on getting better, being the best player that I can be, and make sure everybody around me is as well.
All right, from one star to another, after 15 years with the Cowboys, Jason Witten decided to hang it up and start a career in broadcasting, but he still had the itch for football. He's back with the team, and if anybody knows head coach Jason Garrett, it's big number 82. Plenty of new guys out here at Cowboys Camp, including a 37-year-old. All right, not technically very new, but it's great seeing 82 catch passes from Dak once again.
It's fantastic. Witt loves ball. He loves football to the core of his person, and he's demonstrated that to all of us through the years, and you still see that. He's prepared, he's ready to go, he looks great, and he's moving around well, and just can't wait to see him back in action.
Jason Witten, now a year removed from football, back on the field and working with the offense. Yesterday we heard Jerry Jones give an awkward no answer when asked about what head coach Jason Garrett has to do to keep his job. Witten says he has full confidence in his head coach.
You know, just look at the team last year, 3-5. They don't blink and come back and win a division, and that's a sign of a good coach. When his players play hard for him, regardless of those moments, and he's a hell of a football coach.
Hard to find a guy that spent more time with Garrett. Witten there for every season. Garrett's been a coach with the Cowboys except for last, so who better to ask about his coach's future beyond this year?
He thrives in those moments. He doesn't get comfortable being uncomfortable. He really does, you know, and I think that's something he has a lot of confidence in. He's a humble guy in a lot of ways, and what he says, he doesn't say a whole lot. But internally, when he's with us, you can feel that confidence. You can feel the kind of swag that he brings to his football team and the way he coaches. And, look, he understands. He's been around this game a long time, he and his family. So I don't think that, where a contract situation is going to affect him. You're going to get his best, and I believe in him certainly.
Hey, it's great seeing Jason Witten out here. A really cool moment after practice just a bit ago. He was with his family, with his boys. They went over and met Randall Cobb, shook his hand, got to meet one of their heroes. While Randall Cobb, it looked like, got to meet one of his. All right, here's the deal. We have one more day in shorts and helmets. That's tomorrow. Then they put on the pads as we get to see some contact for the first time on Monday. We're just 6 weeks out from the regular season kicking off. Live in Oxnard, Chase Shannon, Maximum Sports. We welcome you out to Oxnard, California. Day one of Cowboys training camps in the books, and of course, there's still no Ezekiel Elliott. We had a walkthrough this morning, then the opening ceremonies this afternoon, followed by the first practice. Yes, there's no Zeke, but there's still Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper, and Jason Witten, plus the rest of the boys. This is the first time in California we've gotten to visit with Prescott. A guy, by the way, introduced him as Dak Preston. That was the Oxnard mayor at the opening ceremonies. And Dak himself is due for a big payday, and he was asked about his contract negotiations, and his answer about the same as his management's.
Yeah, same way. I'm not here to talk about my contracts, that stuff. I mean, talks I'm sure at this point will continuously happen, but for me it's about to come out here and focus on this. Not be distracted by any of that stuff, any of that conversation, and just focus on getting better, being the best player that I can be, and make sure everybody around me is as well.
And while Zeke is gone, this is a golden opportunity for a suddenly inexperienced running backs group. Jason Garrett and Jerry Jones made it clear at yesterday's State of the Cowboys address. Darius Jackson did most of his work with the first team at walkthrough earlier. He's a guy to keep our eye on. Same with rookies Mike Weber Jr. and Tony Pollard. Pollard's the Cowboys' fourth-round selection in 2019 out of Memphis.
I mean, I never really just thought about all that. I just wanted to come in, you know, be the best me I could be every day and just let everything work from there.
And how much are you kind of relishing this opportunity now that you have?
I mean, it's the same for me because I had the same mindset. It's not like anything different. It's just more opportunity, so just try to take advantage.
Trust me, my journey has been something a little different. You know, you guys don't know all the details, but it was big for me. It was big for me coming back to this system. I felt like I had unfinished business, you know, and still do. So that's what I'm after. I'm chasing after just accomplishing my personal goals.
Still ahead, John will have much more on day one of training camp here in Oxnard, California, including the point-blank advice that DeMarcus Lawrence would give Ezekiel Elliott in his position. This is the last day, or tomorrow, excuse me, is the last day of helmets and shorts before we finally move to the pads on Monday. We'll get some contact out here in Southern California. Live in Oxnard, Chase Shannon, News 4 San Antonio.